Hello, this is Vernon. I'm back and we're talking about chasing time travelers. This is part 8. Last time I talked to you, it was about Stonehenge on the Mayan map. And I said that if you look on the left of this image, you'll see Stonehenge, and on the right, you'll see the Mayan version of Stonehenge. And so the Mayas had about 6 of these, no, I'm sorry, maybe 4 of these. And some of their tables had, in quotes, 4 legs. I don't know if that means they got part of it wrong, or if that means that there was at some point a four-legged, in quotes, table at Stonehenge. Not sure, but the Mayan images, as you can see, are much smaller of the reproductions of Stonehenge. They're much smaller than the actual original Stonehenge is. So if I'm right, if that's England on the left, that temple, then the temple on the right we're heading south. The temple on the right is going to be France. And that little wall in between the two of them, who knows what that wall is? But if I'm right, they're saying that England and France are connected with a little tiny something. They are. Those countries are connected by the English Channel Tunnel. And I can't prove that that's what that little wall means, but I haven't seen one anywhere else connecting any other temples. This little flat thing that you see on the bottom in the middle of the screen, well, that would, I assume, be a beach, right? Because it's flat and it's going to be higher than the level of land is going to be higher than water, depending on how many feet you got. And so that's at least consistent with Normandy Beach, because it's the let's see, northeast. Yeah, that's the northeast part of France. So this is what I was talking about a moment ago. Channel Tunnel, France and England. So let's look at France. That's a regular map on the left, and on the right is a map that I created based upon what I saw at Chichen Itza and based upon other maps of the same, other people's maps of Chichen Itza. One of the things that most people leave out of the map is, if you look on the right-hand side of this one, you see there's a bent arrow. Well, there's a little pathway through there, and my argument is that they're showing us the border between France and Iberia. So here's the temple that represents France, and it's called the Temple of the Warriors. At the top right, at the top in the middle, you can see a little chalk mule, and chalk mule is no one really knows what those are for. My theory is that the chalk mules are guides. So they always look like they're sitting in go-karts. They're never looking forward, though. They're always looking over their left shoulder or their right shoulder or up or something, but they never look straight ahead. So, and they're always, sitting low like they're in a go-kart. My theory is that the chalk mules are guides, in the sense that we're supposed to look at what they're looking at. So this chalk mule, if you kind of go, you see that man on the ground, the actual human. Well, if you go straight up toward the top of the image, you'll see the chalk mule in the middle. Now you'll notice near that man, just above his head, there are pillars. Well, there are 300 of those pillars, and the square ones have images, and the round ones do not. And my argument is that where you see him walking, that's essentially the Atlantic Ocean. You'd have to wait till you see it flooded, but that's the Atlantic Ocean, and he's basically off the coast of France. So those pillars, they show men who look like they're white, and they've got war feathers on, which means they are soldiers, and they're clearly not Mayas. Mayans because they don't have, because they do have facial hair. Mayas don't have facial hair. My theory is that these 300 soldiers along the Atlantic coast of France represent the German soldiers from World War II. I can't prove that. Maybe these are some other soldiers lined up along the Atlantic coast for some other war. So Hirth and Pillsbury did some interesting research on the murals that are inside the France temple, and of course they don't call them that. It's called the Temple of the Warriors, but it's called the Temple of the Warriors because of the warriors in the image. My theory is that those are World War II warriors. Well, they show some ethnic targeting. They show, and when I put this in quotes about the victims, that's directly from Hirth and Pillsbury. They are archaeologists or anthropologists, I forget. So it says victims scream and flee with bundles on their backs, and they take captives. And some warriors came in from the west. And here's one of those images, one of those murals. If you look at the top left corner, you'll see a guy with a dome-shaped hat, a backpack on, and a stick with a fire on it. If you look at the bottom, you see the boats, right? So my theory is that these are the Americans coming in. Um, if you look right by if you look at that boat in the middle, and then you look at the bow, well, you look at the bow, then look at that little fish, right? There's a tower there. There's a Mayan style tower. My theory is that they're showing you a Mayan version of the tower that's in France next to the Seine, and that's of course, the Eiffel Tower. And you'll see, if you look around this image, you'll see houses on fire, a couple of people on fire. I think they're showing you World War II. And let's see, what am I missing? No, I think we're good. Okay, that's the end of part 8.